or in matters that are left on the national government. That is the security, the education, and other matters, Honorable Speaker. And that is why, it's quite unfortunate that people have a misconception that CDF or NGCDF is a fund that is managed by members of parliament. Far from it. Even as it is currently, Honorable Speaker, members of parliament have zero role as far as sharing of NGCDF or, the way NGCDF operates, Honorable Speaker. I mean, that is why it's called National Government Constituency Development Fund. It is a preserve for the national government with an autonomous structure of governance. We have the NGCDF board that does the approvals. We have the constituency fund managers that are employed by the National Government Constituency Development Fund. Then we have the committees, in the constituencies that, of course, now collect views from the common mwananchi. And the role of members of parliament, Honorable Speaker, is very limited. It's actually to oversight, as provided for under Article 95. There is nothing else that we do. What the members of parliament do when they visit constituencies on the NGCDF project is simply to exercise their role and responsibility to oversight and see whether this national government fund is actually doing what it ought to be. It's doing what the committee proposed to the NGCDF board. But people have this misconception, Honorable Speaker, that the members of parliament sit somewhere and they go to their accounts and they draw the funds, they decide on what to do, and they keep some changes. In fact, I keep challenging people any time I engage them that if there is a fund that you really cannot steal, it is actually in this house that I say that we need to replicate the system that NGCDF has or operates under to even the county government. Because this man, Honorable Speaker, leaves the board, goes to the constituencies with a vote, a specific vote, that on this particular percentage, it's going for the bursaries. This particular percentage is for education. This percentage is for this and this. We have no role whatsoever. But people think and imagine that we wake up one morning, a member of parliament wakes up one morning and decides that today I want to draw 1 million shillings from the NGCDF account. How? It is not possible. It is not practical. You cannot do that. What we do is to oversight. And what we are proposing here, Honorable Speaker, it is to have these funds now entrenched in the Constitution so that the people can feel it. Honorable Speaker, when you compare, and I've always said this, when you compare resources, when you compare the resources that are sent from the national government or through the devolved units and then NGCDF, you will realize, Honorable Speaker, that when you pass through the constituencies, every project done by NGCDF is visible. You see it. You see it. You can actually count and say, it has bought this school bus. It has done this. Some students have gone to school. Some people have, we have now police stations. We have, in fact, Honorable Speaker, some even do, like I saw Nairobi, Honorable Speaker, my former colleague, a member of this house, who left this house in the last regime, Honorable Speaker, was actually doing even swimming pools in Nairobi schools. And students have competed and even gone international through the swimming classes that they learned because the structures have been built. So, Honorable Speaker, this is the fund that is felt by the common mwananchi. When you compare every devolved fund, every fund that has left the national government, you will realize that this fund, Honorable Speaker, is so visible. And that is why some people, some very weird quarters, Honorable Speaker, are viciously fighting that this fund does not get to the common mwananchi because they know that when it gets to the common mwananchi, they'll have no grasp. They'll have no ground to stand against, because people tend to fight for, they tend to oppress or suppress people so that they can be able to use them for their own ulterior motives, Honorable Speaker. But when this fund goes to the public, Honorable Speaker, it helps a lot. It elevates education. It's felt by the common mwananchi. And, Honorable Speaker, I am a living example.